of course, I try not to date broke man. It's very hard to date in Jamaica because a lot of the guys, they have to live like a double life because they're bisexual. So.
Do you want the government to implement any particular laws as it relates
I would want the government to do a lot of changes when it comes down to laws and protecting trans, because we're all human, you know, and we are just working and trying to be positive and navigate into a space where everybody and feel like one. But whether or not the government change, I'm not waiting on the government.
And a lot of other trans persons, I'm sure, are living in different communities, might not have access to what you have living in the city.
Yeah, but I think living in the country area of Jamaica is very hard, you know, because they are not open to a lot of things in Jamaica, much less to be open to things that are in their eyes would be like a foreign-minded thing, you know, because in some part in Jamaica, people think like being gay or trans is like foreign thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not that, you know. A lot, people down that side, you have a lot of trans and like drags. The drag queens are the one that they live as male and they dress up just to go to parties and to perform. So most of those are the ones that are living in the rural area because they have to work, because not all trans women are fortunate enough to, you know, look this beautiful and go to the fabulous events and all that, you know. So I think for those who can't afford that, I think I understand when it comes down to them not being able to go certain places.
How do you survive? Where do trans people work? Are they living secretly?
For
working
trans
secretly,
people, a lot of the trans, they do work, and you know, some who are very much loud and vulgar or probably doesn't have the proper education or skill will probably have difficulties in that area. But as a trans, I've learned that whatever opportunities that comes my way, creatively or business-wise, I always capitalize from it, and I always try to. That's the reason. That's the whole point of putting myself out there. You know. Of course, I try not to date broke man. Yes, so I feel like that's. But I don't depend on a man. You know.
Yeah.
I've always, and I have so much independent girlfriends. It's like you always have to have your own.
Do you have a problem getting men, or it's?
I don't have a problem getting men. To be honest, I have a problem getting my type of man.
The rich ones.
Well, in some ways, but I think a lot of those guys are not from Jamaica, and you know, the ones that are in Jamaica, that's the reason why a lot of guys in Jamaica have these ignorance who are trans and gay, and I'm like, you're not my type. Like, it really doesn't matter. But I can understand why they're being ignorant and stuff like that.
But people would say gay people, trans people are sometimes unreasonable with your demands as it relates to heterosexual couples or comments. Simple incident, you know, if we don't necessarily like the lifestyle, if we vocalize it, then it's considered to be bashing. Do you believe that?
I can see where, because I'm a person like this. I'm not always in my emotions, but for some people, they're very sensitive. They're sensitive to everything. I may not be like that, but other trans are like that. A lot of the things really doesn't bother me, and I don't get any issue at government places that I have to present an identification, because I normally try not to look extra beat or too glam, you know. I want to look realistically like my picture, but you know, a clean virgin.
Let's address the issue. You know, a lot of persons tend to talk about trans people are deceptive. Let's say you go out and a guy is hitting on you. You're maybe waiting until you're back at the hotel or wherever to say. Even recently, I read there was a case in Mobay. Is that something you guys discussed among your community?
I think
or it's too generalized?
Not to cut you, but I think I do agree where from a perspective of an heterosexual looking in, it seems as if it's deceptions. But I've met guys all the time when I'm at the bar and stuff like that. Guys will always come up to me not knowing who I am first, but as I get to know more people and I get to as I get more open with who I am, I'm 100% honest, because to be honest, in my earliest stage growing up, I wouldn't care of trying to, tell him. Of course, I wouldn't, but I feel like I've lost so much friends from situations like that, and I think it has changed me. And for me now, when I meet a guy, I always try to keep it real, like. I have nothing against you. I'm very respectful, but this is what it is. And sometimes they proceed, sometimes, and I always find they're very much respectful and understanding.
When you tell them.
Yeah, and I have a lot of friends who are guys that are creative guys, actually, that are heterosexual, identify as a straight man, and they don't have a problem communicating, like having a friendly conversation. You know, I can separate a friend from personal. Not everybody can do that.
Right.
And the thing about it is that a lot of guys know that a person might be trans, but sometimes when they get caught, the only thing that they can rely on is I was deceived, because that's the only thing that they know that everybody's going to believe. But it's not always like that, to be honest, it's not always like that, because a lot of guys in Jamaica are gay for pay.
Explain gay for pay.
They are only gay if you pay them. Yeah.
How popular is that?
How popular is that?
Yeah.
It's like a job for a lot of them,
Really?
Yeah. They have their supporters. I'm not one of them, because I grew up and I saw my dad taking care of the household, and my mom worked just the same, but he was like the main dependent source, So I look at it as if, like, if a guy really likes you, and I don't see why you should
need to pay him to do all of that.
I've done it before. I've done it before in my earliest stage of growing up.
And what led to that? Is it because lack of? Is it that you need to be wanted and loved?
No, it's not that. I think it's very hard to date in Jamaica, because a lot of the guys are not gays. Most of the guys are not gays, So they have to live like a double life, because they're bisexual. So they have most of the times they'll have girlfriends and stuff like that, which I can't really get into that too much, because it's a complicated situation, because a guy will probably just want to have sex with you, but he doesn't want to deal with you on a personal level. No emotions attached. I don't have time for the fantasy, the booty calls and stuff like that.
No. You want to settle down.
Stability, support, love,
Marriage, maybe?
Marriage, yes, but I'm not waiting for that.
Yeah. Have you gone through any hormone treatment?
I have not. It's like body-wise, but not in depth in the sense of like internal like changes.
Is it a fact that you guys shy away from accessing certain health care because of fear or discrimination?
I think most people are, but as I am not afraid. I'm so much on having a good health. Whenever I feel sick, I always I go to the doctor, and I don't get any discrimination when I go to the doctor. Right. They know who I am. I identify myself. They see my identification. So
and they know what's up.
Yeah, and I've never, as long as I think, where the difficulty lies is not being able to have the proper finance to cover your bill or stuff like that. So you're going to feel discouraged in the sense that you can't go there because it's going to cost. And I have to go to like private doctors and stuff. I've never been to like the public hospitals for any care at all. It's just like private doctor, and it costs. So I feel like that's where the difficulty lies.
Yeah. What is the ultimate for you, Ashley? If you could have a perfect life tomorrow, paint that picture of that life, that perfect life for yourself.
I've always dreamed and wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I feel like life is aligning everything on that part right now. So to be my own boss, to have a business in fashion, because you know, fashion is life. Fashion is my life. I live, I love, and I breathe fashion. So I'm very passionate about it, and of course I capitalize every time, every opportunity I can when it comes down to fashion. So to have a business in fashion and to be successful, that is a ultimate dream, you know,
you want
and to
kids?
be happy and peace. Kids, I love kids. I love kids. I love kids, but I don't think kids are for me. I'm like the aunt that's always out of town. You know, that you see only on holidays. I'm like that.
Okay.
But I have so much love for kids. Like, kids are so, you know, sweet. Especially
when you are not the mother.